Hello and welcome to a spooky themed vlog. It is Sunday the 29th of September. So it is actually the 1st of October on Tuesday. So in preparation for the 1st of October, I want to get all the spooky stuff out. At the moment I've got my autumn decor out, and so now I need to put all the spooky stuff with it. So that's what we're going to do today, and also create a spooky horror TBR for October. First of all, I need to show you this. This is my night dress, which is a Nightmare Before Christmas night shirt. I never wear night shirts. I saw this on Sainsbury's yesterday and it was only £10, so I purchased it and I love it. So the plan for today, I'm going to get dressed now and then I'm going to put out all of the decor that I've got already. I then need to do a food shop, so whilst I'm doing a food shop I might have a look to see if there's anything like pumpkin cookies or anything like that that I can find on those mixed boxes. I'm not doing it from scratch completely because I just can't. Baby steps, you know. And then when I come back, I'll have some lunch, and then I shall be heading out to a couple of shops which kind of do autumn spooky decor at the moment. There's one which is B&M. I've never actually been to a B&M store, but apparently it has a lot of autumn and spooky decor at the moment. Also, Home Bargains. I might have another look in there and see what I can pick up. So yeah, I'm going to put everything that I've already got out first and then decide what bits I want to get to add to it. That's the plan for today, and then later on I will be picking out my horror books off my TBR shelves to create an October TBR, which I will also share on here. So that is today's reading, it's not a reading vlog, is it? Today's vlog. Spooky themed, so let's go and get dressed, then put out the decor that we've already got. Let's make a start on today. Okay, so this is the autumn decor. So we've got like obviously pumpkin candle here, some garlands, and over here as well some garlands. It's all autumn decor at the moment. Just ignore those wheels, they're obviously not staying there. Side note, those are my wheels to go on my car. So what I'm thinking is this garland I'm going to put on the sideboard. So I'm still incorporating, just ignore the state, if that's like a storage bit in the conservatory at the moment whilst we're renovating. Yeah, so that garland I'm going to put on the sideboard and do something over there more autumnal. I'm going to hopefully get a black garland, which I think would look nicer on here, more Halloween. I want to put some spider webs on the lights, and over here I might just keep that garland out, but then move that into the library, move those, and then I've got some more spooky stuff that I can put out instead. And one of the things that I might get today is a spookier candle, because at the moment we have this pumpkin one which can go back out in November, but isn't spooky enough. So yeah, so I'll possibly leave that one out. We shall see. But let's put all the spooky stuff that we've already got out and make a start. Okay, so we have some skeletons hanging. You can't see it at the moment because obviously the lights aren't on. The skeleton lights just subtly in the window. We've got this tablecloth, the skull, coasters. I do have a candle, which is a Halloween candle, but I don't light it, so I still need to look for a Halloween candle. We've got some happy Halloween signs, some of these which are dotted around all over the place. Little pumpkin. Here I've kind of put, I'm not so sure about it all being here, but changed this out. Got some serial killer vibe tools. This cute little ghosty for a little pink pumpkin. Got a boo with some pumpkins. So this side of the room I'm okay with. The other side, not so much. So over here, I like the cobwebs and the spiders. It doesn't really show it very well in this. And like the autumnal piece over here with some, I've put the candles and the garland that was on the table over there with some pumpkin lights. So here, obviously we've got some more of these little pumpkins, which I'm going to place around. So this is actually something that hangs up on the wall, but we can no longer hang it up on the wall because obviously we've decorated this room. So I thought I'd put it on the table, but I'm not so sure about it. I kind of feel like, because obviously it's not meant to be for a table. So when I'm out, I'm going to look for a table runner that's Halloween themed, a bit more subtle, and a black garland, and put that on there instead. And just not use this Halloween. However, I do have something where it could go. I suppose it could go in the hallway because that's not been decorated yet, so I can stick it up on there. I mean, I do love this thing. It's very creepy. It's absolutely huge. I love it, but it's just not working as a tablecloth. So yeah, I want to do something different with the table. So that's what I'm going to go and find whilst I'm out and about. Okay, excuse the stairs do need to be hoovered. They kind of be going up, they were working on the roof today and be going up and down these as well. Okay, so I've got some bits that I'm going to put in my library. So some of the autumnal stuff. So this was on the porch. This room, as you can tell, hasn't been decorated yet. And above the window, in that disgusting area, which is black because the previous owner used to leave the log burner door open, so it's like soot. That's a little monkey that Paul just dots, like hides here and there around. But in that space up there, what I've got on the table could possibly go up there. So I think that would work. But yeah, these bits and pieces I'm going to put in my library, and then I'm going to put those on the window in my office, which is at the front. I think that would work. So let's go and put these upstairs. Okay, so ignore this. This is from my reading journal. I've left it out just to keep doing bits and pieces to it as and when. But I've brought the candle and this needs to be cleaned off. It's got candle wax on it. Okay, so I've put them on the table. So they're going to be used in the library. And the garland that was on top of the mantelpiece has gone here. That one I'd already put up anyway. We've got some little pumpkins there. And this was by the fireplace downstairs, so I've put it in here on the bookcase. And this was on the porch. I've got wrapping paper there because I got to sort out my dad's present. On the porch, which I've swapped over. I do have this, which I keep all year round anyway, which is the last Halloween. So yeah, it's more autumnal vibes in here. But that's okay. That's okay. And then I've just put the spiders in the office. So I've just put one spider web in the window and then just one on this bookcase. But that's it when it comes to autumnal or anything like that in this room. Okay, so that's all the autumnal bits and pieces that I already had. That's all out. Well, the spooky bits and pieces already out. So I need to do a shopping list of food shop. I'm going to go and do the food shop. Then when I come back, I'm going to, what am I doing? Do some lunch for Paul and his dad as well. We'll have some lunch, and then this afternoon I'm going to head to the shop. So I know what I want to get. I want to get a more Halloweeny style candle. I want to get a table runner so I can change the table, because I'm not happy with how the tables turned out. So I'm going to do that. And then what I'm currently put on the table, I'm probably going to put in the hallway, which might have to be something that Paul does. I'm going to see, because I think I might need a ladder. We're going to have to see. But yeah, I think I should see. There's not a lot that I really need to get. Also some batteries for the lights that I've put in the window, and also I want to get some orange, possibly fairy lights. I don't know what you would, just some lights, just to put in the hedges out the front, so that I could have like orange bits and pieces. And then I will probably see if there's anything else that I can get for outside. But I'm not going all out, because I don't think I'm doing a Halloween party this year. I mean, sometimes I've gone completely all out and had stuff all in the front garden, but I don't think I'm going to do that this year. But I do want to get some orange or purple lights and put them in the hedge. But that'll be it for outside. Actually, that's quite a lot, isn't it, to have your hedge all lit up, orange or purple, or one or the other. It'll be fine. So yeah, so I know that I wanted just to get a black candle with some like Halloween sort of vibes on it, and then yeah, I want to get a table runner that's Halloween themed that I could put and just change the table a bit. Also, I do have some sugar and tea and coffee containers, which I need to swap all the tea, coffee and sugar over into those containers, which are Halloween themed as well. So I'll do that this afternoon. I've already got those. But yeah, I think it's gone well so far. I'm loving all like the spooky bits and pieces, so I'm loving that. So yeah, I'm going to I've only got a couple of bits then that I need to really buy. I'm not going to go all out, but then obviously there is some other stuff that I see that takes the fancy, then I will probably get those as well. But yeah, so let's do a shopping list for the food shop. We'll do the food shop, and then this afternoon we'll be getting a couple more bits and pieces for the house. Hello, so I've just come back from food shopping, and I just wanted to show you what I've managed to pick up whilst I was in Aldi's just getting the food shop. So I've got some like different types of Halloweeny stuff. So we've got here some window stickers, which I was thinking of putting on the shower screen in the bathroom. We've got some bats, which I'm thinking of putting in the hallway. And then we've got some bunting, character bunting, where we've got some pumpkin bats. And I'm thinking of putting this on the mantelpiece instead of the bloody tools. I think this would look nicer and a bit more in theme. So I'm going to switch that around a bit. And I've also got some a ghost shortbread kit. So I'm going to make this this afternoon as well, which I'm really excited for. And then I just came back and I've got some books now. So I'm super excited about. So I've got 2 books in here. So first of all, we've got Graveyard Shift by Emma Rio, which is going to definitely be on my October TBR. It's quite a short book as well, which is quite good. So it'll be just a very quick read. It seems to be a bit more of a novella. It's only 108 pages long. And this one, I think, is set in like a cemetery, and it's going to be quite spooky, and it's set on one dark October evening inside the churchyard. So yeah, I think this is going to be really good. So Emma Rio is the author of We Are Villains, and I really enjoyed that book. And when I saw this was coming out, I had to pre-order, so this is the release day today. So I'm really excited to read that. And then the other book that I picked up, which was ordered, which is a bit thicker, is The 13th Child, which has a stunning cover. can see that. This one is, I believe, like a Brothers Grimm retelling, and it's a bit of a gothic fantasy. I'll just read the back for this one. It says, Hazel has always known she was different from her siblings. The 13th child she was promised at birth to Merk, the god of death. With him, Hazel learns the art and magic of healing. Word of her extraordinary gifts spreads throughout the kingdom, but all gifts come at a price. When death claims a soul for himself, it is Hazel who must end their suffering permanently. Soon, destiny brings her to the royal court where she meets Leopold, an infuriatingly alluring prince with a disdain for everything and everyone. Here, Hazel faces her biggest dilemma yet, to carry out her duties or follow the urges of her own heart. Can she go against the will of death himself to save someone who is marked to die? See, I've heard that this is like almost like a Brothers Grimm retelling, I believe. And it's got like folklore and atmosphere in there. It's like obviously death as well as a character. And I've just been hearing really good things about this. So I think I'm going to put this hopefully into my October TBR. But obviously it's quite a thick book. So if I don't read it in October, then I'll probably read it in November or December. So definitely still winter. It's very much a wintry book. But yeah, so those two books have just arrived. So I thought I would just quickly do an unboxing with you. I'm going to make our lunch and then I'm going to head to I think I'm going to have time to run to one shop. So I'm going to make it Home Bargains and see if they have a table runner and a spooky candle. That's all I really need, to be honest. But yeah, we will have a look in the shop. But yeah, first of all, we need to make some lunch because I'm making lunch for Paul and his dad as well because they're still doing the roof. So I'm going to get on with that and then we'll head out to the shop again to go and see if I can get a table runner. If not, I'm going to have to order one. So let's go on with it. Okay, so just a quick go around. I purchased this candle, which is a haunted house purple one, so I thought that was a bit more spooky than the pumpkin spice one that I had. And then I also got these candles, obviously battery operated, which I thought would go quite well. I changed what's hanging here, so I've gone for this instead, which basically has like a potion bottle, like a poisonous potion bottle, a pumpkin and a bat. And then the table looks so much better now. It really does. Okay, so let's show you the table. So I've taken off the tablecloth that was on there and instead I've put this table runner, which is spider webs, which obviously goes with the spiders, cobwebs from up here, and it was £8.50 from Matalan. And then I've got this black garland which I need to get batteries for, but they have like little lights on, so I've put that across, which is probably a lot more in keeping than the garland that I did have, which is over there Pine Jeff. So once I've got the batteries, I'll put that in. I kind of feel like that looks a lot better now instead of what was on there before. So yeah, I quite like this setup. I put the candles back on as well because they're black candle holders as well. So there we have it. And obviously it incorporates, because this is spider webs as well, so it's basically this, making it all flow a bit more. But yeah, I've been really pleased with how it turned out, and obviously got the skeletons in the window. So yeah, I'm really pleased with the purchases. I got just a few things that only cost me about £20, I think, in total, the stuff that I bought today. So really not that expensive, is it? So there it is. So now we're going to go and pick the TBR of books. Hey, so I think I've got everything sorted. Spooky decor wise, there is like the bats to do and like the blood handprints to go on the shelf screen, but I'm going to do that probably a bit closer to Halloween. but everything else, I'm happy with how it is. I mean, we're not actually, I might invite friends over at some point in October. So we should have the roofs finished, hopefully by mid-October. So yeah, because I really want to try and make the most of autumn. So even if Paul's not going to be around, then I'm just going to still try and make the most of autumn, even if it's by myself. It's fine. Okay, so excuse the hair, it's an absolute mess now. It's so windy, so windy outside. They've actually had to stop doing some of the roof because it's just too windy. So they're just finishing up doing like the fascia bits and pieces instead. So it honestly is blowing a hoolie up there. So let's have a look at the books that I'm going to be reading in October, okay? Because I have a huge stack. I think there's like 11 books. Yeah, I think. Hang on, let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so first of all, I already showed this in this video. It's Graveyard Shift by M.L. Rio. And I think I'm going to take this to a graveyard at some point in October and read this whilst in the graveyard. That's the plan. I apologise if you can hear banging. I didn't realise they were going to be doing... I'm not upstairs, so I actually came downstairs thinking, yeah, that's annoying, so I do apologise. Anyway, yes, the plan is I'm going to go and head to a graveyard at some point in October and read this. Then, okay, and then let's go through these. So we've got Stranger Things, which is, this one is Suspicious Minds by Gwenda Bond. Now, Stranger Things, there's like a whole bunch of authors that have done like little spin-offs of Stranger Things. This one is following Eleven's mum, who basically goes forward for like clinical trials, and it's basically following her and the doctor, or the director of the laboratory, which is Dr. Martin Brenner, and then it's basically meant to be a bit creepy, and then starts following 11 as well. So I have read one of these before and actually did quite enjoy it, so I think this one could be quite enjoyable as well. Then we have Silver Nitrate by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. This is the author of Mexican Gothic, which I read and absolutely loved. This one I think is more horror than Mexican Gothic. This one is meant to be following Montserrat, and she's a talented sound editor, but it's like the film industry in 90s Mexico City, so she's kind of always not been able to, because she's always against men, and she's not been able to get very far in the movie industry. So she then decides to work with this cult horror director, but they have to help him finish what he claims is a cursed film by a Nazi occultist. Disbelieving but with nothing to lose, Montserrat and Tristan agreed to help. However, as they work together to unravel the mystery of the film and its obscure creator, the pair might find out that sorcerers and magic are not only the stuff of movies. So I don't know if there's like possibly like a haunted film set or something like that. I'm not 100% sure about what this book is about, but I've heard good things about it, so I'm pretty much going in not knowing a lot about it, which I always love doing anyway. So we have Gallant by V.E. Schwab. This one is following 14-year-old Olivia Pryor. Basically, I believe she's like lost her mum and dad. Something's happened to her. She's got no mother, father or voice. And her only companions are ghosts that she sees and her mother's journal that she's been reading through. And then she receives a letter from her uncle to go to his estate, but when she arrives there, he's missing. She's found like a cousin there, and then some servants are there, but that is it. And she realizes that there is some secrets within the walls of this house, and there's something. I think this is more like gothic horror. I think it's going to be very much about the descriptions. I think it's going to be like gothic descriptions, and it's just going to be a beautiful, I'm guessing it's beautiful writing. I mean, it's for you, Schwab, so possibly. And then we have Hell House by Richard Madison. Now this book is always on like the top lists of reading near Halloween. It's a book which follows Velasco House. And with this house, they've had like a couple of expeditions where a couple of people have gone in there trying to figure out what the secret is with this house and what's wrong with this house. Now, both of those expeditions has ended with the people that have gone in either being murdered or committed suicide or basically becoming insane. So there's almost like this, not only is there secrets in this house, but there's also something very sinister that's causing this problem with people that enters the house. We're now at a stage where a third expedition is going to happen in this house. There's 4 complete strangers. They are making their way into the house and trying to figure out its secrets. And apparently it's absolutely terrifying. So perfect for October. Then we have an Eric LaRocca. This is Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke in Other Misfortunes. I think there's like 3 stories in here. I think there's 3. Yeah, 3 stories in here. Eric LaRocca is an author who is always on the list of like most bizarre and weird stories, and obviously is a very good horror writer, and I just keep meaning to pick up this book and try some Eric LaRocca. So I think this is going to be a very quick read because they're 3 short stories, and also they're just, I don't know if they like, whether they do all mixed together, I don't know, but I think it's 3 separate stories. But I'm really looking forward to reading this one. And we have The Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. So Grady Hendrix is probably well known for doing camp horror, where so bizarre it's and like ridiculous and out there that it creates humour. So he has some humour in his horror books. Now I have read How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. That's the only book I've read by Grady Hendrix. I gave it 2 stars, didn't like it. I just couldn't gel with it. It was not my cup of tea. But I don't want to give up on Grady Hendrix as an author. So I thought this one might be an okay one to try. This one basically follows Lynette Tarkenton, who survived a massacre 22 years ago. She's now in this like support group with another bunch of women who have all had something horrendous happen to them in the past. And they then find out that there's someone who basically is trying to get at the woman in the support group and trying to basically pull their lives apart again, break them up. Basically just, go for round 2. I think it's meant to be almost like a slasher type thing. I'm not 100% sure. And it's meant to be quite creepy as well. So yeah, I've got high hopes for this. I think it's meant to be like almost slasher style. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I have high hopes for it. I'm hoping that I can get on board with Grady Hendrix books. So that's that one. I had to go and let one of the cats in. Okay, next we have The Haunted Hotel, which is a vintage classic. I had originally thought a few months ago about staying in a creepy hotel for a night and reading this, or staying in a hotel. But there's no way I'm going to be able to. We are doing so much with the house at the moment because we're back to doing DIY and renovations. So I kind of feel like I'm not going to be able to do this in October. So I am still going to read it. I'm just not going to be staying in a haunted hotel when I read it. But I'm still really looking forward to this one as well. Apparently it's like 3 mysteries, complete separate mysteries, but they're all tied together somehow. And you have to see how these little mysteries are connected, you have to spend the night in room 14 of Venice's finest hotel and find out the truth, if you dare. So I think it has like a short story in here as well called The Dream Woman, which is a ghost story. So I think this is like 2 stories. I mean, the Haunted Hotel is about 200 pages, and then there's another short story that's about 50 pages. So yeah, I think this one's going to be quite spooky as well. And we have Book of Ghost Stories by Roald Dahl. So Roald Dahl's Book of Ghost Stories. Roald Dahl has basically put together a collection of ghost stories by a bunch of authors and created this, which I think there's about 15 stories in here. So my plan is to dip in and out of this throughout the month. So just read a story here and there. But I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's a bunch of ghost stories picked by Roald Dahl, so I think it's going to be good. It's going to be good. And we used to live here by Marcus. Is that Clua? I'm sorry if I've pronounced that wrong. So this is a book that I saw everywhere over Instagram and ended up buying it a couple of weeks ago, probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and knew that I wanted to read it in October. So we're basically following a young couple, Charlie and Eve. They move into this house, and one day, they're chopping something on the floor. Then one day, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so one day a bloke comes to the door with his family, and he says, oh, I used to live in this house. I just wanted to show my family around. So she goes, oh, okay, lets them in. And then they just don't want to go. The cat is now playing with one of the little pumpkins that I've put out. Okay, so yeah, basically they're looking around the house. They decide they don't want to go, and Eve is trying to like push them out the door, trying to get them to leave. Then Charlie goes missing. Somehow just goes missing. And Eve is trying to figure out whether there's something sinister about the house, or whether it's something sinister about this family that have come into her home, or whether it's her own mind. Apparently it's creepy as, this book, and it's had rave reviews and people saying such amazing things about this. So another one that I have high hopes for and really eager to get to. And then lastly, we have The Gathering by C.J. Tudor. So this is set in a very small Alaskan town, and I believe like a boy is found with like marks on his neck, and the town is basically trying to figure out whether there's this evil murderer, serial killer out there, whether this is the work of vampires, and which would be worse. So it's a vampire story basically, set in the very remote town in Alaska. And I have, again, high hopes for this because one, it's a C.J. Tudor book, two, it's small town horror with, very remote town in Alaska, and there's vampires. I mean, there's vampires. There we go. That's the main thing about it. So, what's not to love? And then also, what I did show you earlier was 13th Child by Evan A. Craig, which I got earlier. If I get through all of those books, which I'm not thinking is going to be fully likely, then I will start this. But if I don't get to this in October, then I am going to read it either end of November or December. I definitely want to read this before the end of the year anyway. The closer to possibly like the beginning of November actually, because that's still close to Halloween, close enough. So I think we'll have a chance of having this read fairly close to Halloween anyway, if I don't get to it actually in October. So there we go, that's it. Those are all the books. So that's technically 12 books that are on the TBR, but there are a few that are short, some that I'm just going to be dipping in and out of. So I think it's possible that I could read all of these. We shall see. We'll just have to see. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading all those books. I'm really looking forward to, as well to getting more into spooky season. And I really apologise for the banging on the roof. I didn't realise they were going to be doing that, and also I didn't think it would be affected down here because there is another story above us. So, but anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for being here, and thank you so much if you got through the whole of the video. That's brilliant. I'm really thankful for that. But yeah, this was just like a get ready for the spooky season with me and pick out the TBR for October. So hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're looking forward to spooky season just as much as I am. We've only got 2 days and then it's the 1st of October. So that's why I wanted to get everything ready by the 1st of October. So I'm so excited this year. I cannot wait for all the spooky stuff. So yeah, thank you so much for watching and I'll be back soon with another video. Bye.